Om Shanti. It's nice to see everyone back home. So welcome back home. And the very thought that we are going to discuss a topic which is very interesting for Brahmin life. How to experience blissful stage in meditation. I feel very blissful on seeing all of you here. And the very thought of experiencing that stage makes me feel very blissful. Being blissful or experiencing blissfulness is the result of the consciousness we create in meditation. I was just churning on this subject. Because everyone who is in Madhuban is come specially to see, to meet, and to communicate, to listen to the one who is source of that blissfulness. If our communication with Baba is clear, it leads us to that super-sensuous joy automatically. Because when we think of Baba's own identity, reality about Baba, about God, as we hear from the scriptures and also from the history of the beginning of Yajna, when Shiv Baba introduced himself, in that introduction, Baba narrated that he was Shiva, the very image of light. He was Shiva, the very image of peace. He was Shiva, the very image of knowledge. And the image of bliss. That's the introduction, or that's the knowledge which we receive about the one with whom we are linking ourselves. And that link is also based on the knowledge of the self. And in that, we also learn about the self. The soul is a being of light. The soul is a conscient entity. A soul is peaceful, loveful, and blissful. All that we have to do is to just become aware, conscious, and be that. If that can happen, the experience of bliss is automatic. I don't have to just remind myself that I am a blissful soul, because bliss is going to be the end result. It's a feeling, just as we feel after having a nice, sumptuous meal. The feeling is very sweet. Contentment is there. If you have a nice meeting with someone to whom you adore, after a very nice, friendly meeting, you feel so good. It brings happiness. When you achieve your goal, when you achieve something which you have aimed at, that brings nice feelings inside. On the path of spirituality, when we are progressing in our effort making, following Baba's Shrimat, and Shrimat is, as we heard this morning in the Murli, when we listen to him, we remember him. That empowers the soul to overcome its own weaknesses. We are able to conquer that which is taking away our blissful stage, and we are able to inculcate that which brings back that real inner sweet happiness. In meditation, it's a complete tuning of the self, tuning of the mind, tuning of the intellect. You may call that fine tuning, where the awareness is only of being in that abode of light, Paramdham, which means the mind is totally detached from the rest of the things. The visualization is only of that vast, vast region of light, orange light, or red infinite light. And even in that, the mind is focused on the self and the Supreme, seeing both together in our own original forms, own original image. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to see the self and God as two minute dots, the dots of light. But because that is the reality, the form of the self and God is that star-like form. And when the mind is focused on that, the intellect accepts it. The wandering stops. The waste thoughts are no more there. Just the awareness, the consciousness of being together with the one we have been thinking of being together. In that consciousness, there is the feeling of greatness of the company. There is the feeling of sweetness, the sweetness of Baba's love. And there is the feeling of relief, which you call peace. The self becomes so peaceful at that time because it's devoid of all other thoughts which makes the self feel peaceless. As there are no pulls, no other pulls, away from the gravitational pulls of the elements, away from the emotional pulls of the human beings, away from the karmic pulls of the past. When the mind and intellect are totally conscious of being in Baba's presence, the highest, the most powerful being, the atmosphere created around Baba is so powerful, it takes us away from all other influences. And then the experience of the reality, the experience of the truth, only that remains. The mind rejects other things. The intellect rejects other things, doesn't want to think of anything else. And when that happens, the soul, the self, the being floats in that ocean of bliss. The experience of being blissful returns to the self, because that's the true nature of the self. It's the true nature of God, and it's the true nature of the self. And till we reach that, till we experience that, we keep on trying our best to reach it. And once we reach there, the only thought which would come is, thank you, Baba. I have found what I was searching for. I found you, and I found the reality of the self. I found my real self, my true nature, that of being, just being blissful. such a sweet, sweet feeling, such a lightful feeling, and such a great, great feeling. That's the experience the soul looks for, keeps searching for. That's why not just the Brahmins, not just the Raj Yogis, but the yogis of the entire world keep on trying to reach that stage of self-realization and God-realization, because there is no higher experience than that. There is that totality in experience. The soul feels completely content, complete in every way. And as we all know, the search ends. Not only the search ends, but even in effort making, the confidence returns. This is what I wanted. This is what I had been struggling for. The experience of deep, deep bliss not just comes, but remains and can become a constant experience, provided the consciousness remains on that level. If due to any reasons the consciousness comes down, we lose sight of our true selves, we lose sight of Baba's true identity, then again the mind can wander, can be influenced by our own past. It can be influenced by the atmosphere. It can be influenced by other humans. We are very fortunate. We are in such a company, like-minded souls, treading the same path, trying to achieve excellence in spirituality, trying to achieve greatness in righteousness. So that ensures that the influence of the atmosphere on us is very positive. It's very helpful. It's very cooperative. All that we need to do is just to take the flight. The flight of thought. By keeping the mind focused on that stage for continuously some time, ensures that we do rediscover, and not just rediscover, but we become firm in the sanskars of being knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful and blissful souls. And for that, just have that thought of praising Baba, that you are, thou art the ocean of purity, ocean of peace, ocean of love, and ocean of bliss. Inheriting this, receiving, rejoicing, and treasuring your purity, peace, love and bliss. I feel I am that. I am peace, I am love, I am bliss. They are not separate from me. In this experience, the words fail to express ourselves. We used to read, the experience of self-realization is beyond words, beyond intellect. Now we see it practically. It's the feeling of joy inside. And it is in silence. The moment we come in words, even if I want to sing in happiness, I would lose that because my mind starts searching for words. The extreme joy, the extreme happiness, the extreme bliss is there in that extreme silence. True to what we learnt about knowledge about Baba's real self and real abode. But his abode is far beyond the light of the sun, the light of the moon, the light of the stars. But it's a self-luminous abode, away from the sound even of the planets and stars. The scientists, when they try to capture the atmosphere of the stars and planets, you can hear different kinds of noises in that atmosphere. But away from all that, where there is sweet silence, once we learn to be there and experience that deep, blissful stage in silence, which had been our experience when we were all there with Baba in our sweet home. The mind doesn't want to think of anything else. That's the extremity of exploring Shiv Baba's ocean-like qualities. In that exploration, it's not just the knowledge, it's the experience. While diving deep in that ocean, we become part of that ocean. Though the soul is immortal, eternal, it doesn't get destroyed, but can merge in the experience of the ocean of purity, ocean of peace, ocean of bliss, and become master ocean of purity, master ocean of peace, master ocean of bliss. So in meditation, we go into this experience, just seeing ourselves as we are in reality and feeling our own qualities. Like Father, like Son. And while we do this, automatically the soul becomes more and more sublime, more and more pure, more and more light. And that ensures how self-purification of sanskars takes place. The power of yoga is experienced in that. Lesser the burden of the past, more the feeling of being light and blissful. This is the exercise, this is the effort which we need to continue with every day, every morning. We should start with this exercise. Accepting Brahmin life means accepting yogi life. And yogi life means blissful life. That blissfulness remains with us if we start the day with such deep experience in silence. It makes the mind so light, it makes the heart so full. It's very simple, it's very easy. The only thing is, the most difficult thing is to direct the thought, to direct the mind and intellect on the right path, focused on the right goal. Without any desire, without any short-lived expectations, if we can merge in Baba's love, if we can merge in that ocean of peace, if we can merge in that ocean of bliss, we are able to achieve the best in yoga experience. All other achievements in yoga are automatic. Because we are with the source. Yoga means what? Being together. Together with whom? With the source, with the ocean. So lesser we churn the knowledge, more powerful is the experience in yoga. Churning of knowledge can take place afterwards. You can intellectualize your experience later on. Just sit in the sun and feel the warmth. Just churning about it, that sun is quite nice, very bright, hot, and this and that, and that's not going to bring you that feeling of warmth. You be in the sun. That's why Baba condensed meditation or yoga in just 2 words while talking to Brahmins from abroad on few occasions. Just say it from your heart, my Baba. That brings you the feeling of belonging to the highest, the greatest. That brings the experience of being so close to Him in such a short span of time. And just feel the joy of being together. Don't run away from there, Baba, I want to see your kingdom of heaven. You can wait for a while. The kingdom of heaven is based on the present experience of being blissful. That is going to be your natural experience in Golden Age, being happy all the time. When the soul is free from all bondages, when the soul is free to do what it likes, when the soul is real master of the self and the nature, then only that feeling of blissfulness is there with the gods and goddesses or deities of Golden Age. And Baba says, that is your natural sanskar which you carry with you from the present Sangam Yuga, present confluence age. Unless we are in that experience naturally, when we start feeling it naturally, at the moment we are trying to be blissful, at the moment we are trying to achieve the experience, but the aim is to make that experience constantly natural experience. Then only the sanskar of being blissful deities would go with us, otherwise not. So let's make that experience a lasting experience, a constant experience, a natural experience, and easy to experience. Just switch on, press the button of consciousness. Baba mentioned that in a different way, changing dress, changing consciousness, by just having the thought of being there. It's so easy to become soul conscious, it's so easy to become God conscious. And only Brahmins know the art of becoming that. Feel proud of being Baba's special children and enjoy that blissful stage in meditation. See how beautiful it is, how rewarding it is, how great it is.